All right, today we are diving into a big one, the IELTS speaking test. If you're shooting for a band 7 or even higher, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down the whole thing, what the examiners are actually looking for, and the strategies you can use to really nail your score.
First things first, let's just admit it. For a lot of people, this part of the exam is kind of scary. You might be worried about your accent or stressing about finding the perfect word, or maybe you're just afraid you're going to freeze up and have nothing to say. If any of that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone.
But here is the single most important thing you need to get, and it's the foundation for everything else we're about to cover. The IELTS speaking test isn't about having perfect, flawless English. It's a test of clear, natural communication. That's a huge difference, and honestly, it's fantastic news for you.
So to beat this challenge, we've got to understand it first. Let's do a quick breakdown of the test structure. It's actually a lot simpler than you probably think.
The whole test is split into just 3 parts, and it's designed to kind of build up, It starts with easy personal questions in part 1, and then moves into more abstract topics by part 3. It's a really logical flow.
And check this out, the timing. The entire conversation is over in just 11 to 14 minutes. That's it. It's not this long, drawn-out marathon. It's a short, focused sprint. Just knowing how quick it is can seriously help calm your nerves on test day.
Okay, so if it's not about being perfect, what is it about? Well, the secret to getting a high score is all about understanding the 4 official marking criteria. Think of these like the examiner's secret checklist. Once you know what's on the list, you know exactly what to work on.
First on that list is fluency and coherence. This is basically about your rhythm. Are you speaking smoothly, without those long, awkward pauses? And do your ideas make sense together? Little connecting words like, for example, however, or as a result are your best friends here. They're like little signposts that show the examiner you're in control. Next up, lexical resource, which is really just a fancy way of saying your vocabulary. The goal here is to show you've got a good range of words and you know how to use them. So instead of saying a movie was very good, maybe you say it was fantastic, impressive, or even absolutely breathtaking. It's all about adding some color to your language.
Then we have grammatical range and accuracy. The key word there is range. The examiner wants to see that you're flexible. Can you use more than just basic sentences? Try to throw in a complex sentence, or maybe a conditional one, like, if I had more time, I would. And hey, they are not looking for 100% accuracy. A few small mistakes are totally fine. And finally, pronunciation. Now, this is so important. This is not about losing your accent or trying to sound American or British, not at all. It is simply about being clear and easy for the examiner to understand. Just focus on having a natural rhythm and intonation so you don't sound flat or robotic. All right, now that we know the rules of the game, let's get into the strategy. We're going to dive into some really powerful, practical techniques you can start using today to actively boost that score. This is your toolkit for success.
Okay, this slide right here shows the single most important technique. Always extend your answers. Never, ever give a one-word reply. I mean, look at this. The question is, do you like music? A simple yes just stops the conversation. But look at the good answer. It gives vocabulary, a reason, and detail. It gives the examiner something they can actually score you on. So how do you extend your answers without just rambling? Use this super simple 3-step formula. First, answer the question. Second, give a reason why. And third, provide a quick example. Answer, reason, example. So it sounds like, I love trying new restaurants. Answer, because I'm a huge foodie. Reason. For example, last week I went to this new Italian place and had the best pasta ever. Example. See? It's a foolproof way to build a great response.
Let's run through 3 more quick win habits. First, do your best to think directly in English. Translating in your head is what causes most of those long pauses. Second, it's totally okay to need a second to think. Use a natural filler phrase like, well, that's an interesting question, to buy yourself a moment. And third, record yourself, just for 2 minutes a day on your phone. Listening back is the fastest way to find and fix mistakes you don't even realize you're making.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of do's. Now let's talk about the don'ts. Knowing what to avoid is just as crucial. Seriously, steering clear of these common mistakes can easily be the difference between a band 6 and a band 7 or 8.
So, let's run through these traps. First, please do not memorize entire answers. Examiners can spot them from a mile away and they just sound robotic. Second, don't speak too fast. It's not a race. Clarity is so much more important than speed. Third, like we said, no more one-word answers. And finally, this one is huge. Don't panic if you make a little mistake. In fact, making a mistake can actually be a good thing. Let's say you're talking and you say something like this. You realize you said last year, but you actually meant 2 years ago. What do?
You just correct it, and here's why this is so great. Calmly fixing a mistake shows the examiner you're confident. It shows them you're paying attention to your own speech, which is a sign of a really high-level speaker. So a tiny mistake, when you handle it well, can actually help your score.
So, as we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with the one single most important idea from our whole discussion. If you only remember one thing, make it this. And this right here, this is the heart and soul of the IELTS speaking test. Your goal is not to be a perfect English speaker. Your goal is to be an effective communicator. Focus on connecting with the examiner and getting your ideas across. If you can just let go of that pressure to be perfect, I promise you will perform so much better.
So, we've gone through the test format, the scoring, the best techniques, and the traps to avoid. You now have the entire toolkit for that Band 7+ score. The only question left is for you. Which one of these ideas are you going to put into practice to become a better communicator starting today?